Yeah, hello everyone. Hello, Assalamualaikum. My name is Ines and I'm a young researcher for Explore for Action, a research program to understand about healthy sexual development among youth in Indonesia. But before I start my power talk, I'd like to ask how many of you have received sexuality education when you were a junior high school student or when you were on your secondary school? Can you please raise your hand? Wow, that's plenty much. Okay, thank you. And for those who raise your hand, you are very lucky because me and over 70 million youth in Indonesia haven't received sexuality education. In my country, Indonesia, sexuality education is still considered as taboo. And during the data collection for Explore for Action, I was accused of promoting sexual intercourse to the minors just because I asked questions about sexual and reproductive health and right to them. Even one of the participated schools has decided to not participate in our research anymore. The resistance was so strong, and I even starting to question myself, was participating in this program the right thing? But then, from our research to 4,700 early adolescent respondents, we learned that less than 50% of them have knowledge about sexual and reproductive health and rights. And sadly, girls have lower knowledge compared to boys. Young people thought that sexuality education is only to talk about contraception and sexual activity. Other important aspects of sexuality education, like knowing our body, valuing ourselves, and managing our own emotion, and of course, understanding our own choice, were not mentioned. Why this is happens? How can they didn't know about it? Because sexuality education is taboo, so many people do not want to talk about it. So many people do not understand why this is important. And I realized that we can't ignore the effect of the taboos and misconception, because the less we address it, the easier it will harm the lives of young people. So let's talk about it. Comprehensive sexuality education is a good starting point and very much needed to be included in school curriculum. However, we should also consider young people's perspective in delivering comprehensive sexuality education, so it will make sense for teenagers like us. How to do that? Talk to us and involve us, because nothing about us should be without us. For example, use diverse platforms that are easier to access and match with our preference, like video blogs and social medias. Make it way more interactive and engaging. Not only reading words from textbooks in old school way. And by doing this, I hope it could be the first step to reduce knowledge gap about comprehensive sexuality education and fulfill our rights to knowledge as we go through the transition period prior to adulthood. And in a nutshell, just like other developing countries face, being Indonesia is a challenge. Which way we are dealing with in line with the purpose in life. I know that I cannot change a whole generation of youth by myself, but I want to contribute, and it's starting from myself. And I want to contribute to promote comprehensive sexuality education in my closest environment, in my community. So this is my choice. How about you guys? I'm Ines Zahrina from Indonesia. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let's talk a little bit more about comprehensive sexuality education and what that really means when you break it down to the schools. Are the teachers prepared to engage with young people in this way?
Yeah, I think we need the participation of the teachers also, so it will be more effectful for us if we receive it from the teacher also.
Is the curriculum really there to support teachers in being comfortable with that? And do you find that there's an important role for parents as well? So the community is learning along with the young people.
Yeah, as we know that sexuality education is such a big house. Like, yeah, maybe there's some part that they didn't comfortable with it, but we have to face it. The taboos is a myth, and we have to face up the reality that we have to know about it, because so many benefits that we can take from this comprehensive sexuality education. And actually we need to the participation from parents too.
Yeah. Do you see that happening?
Yeah, I hope that someday Indonesia will be more open about comprehensive sexuality education, and me as a young researcher given the opportunity to share the research finding to the key maker decision. So I will continue to do that in Indonesia, of course.
I think that's a very brave thing to do, particularly in an environment where the law actually prohibits young people from using contraception or having it if they're not married. So there are still a lot of taboos that keep young people away from the services they need.
Yeah, there's happens in Indonesia, and I hope that someday Indonesia will be more open about it.
Yeah. Do you see that happening? What are some of the signs that keep you motivated to come every day to keep fighting this fight? To keep going forward, what are the things that motivate you to keep going?
Yeah, like I've experienced so many things through the lack of sexuality education, so that's motivate me to keep make an impact to my community. So, yeah, and that's keep giving.
I hope
the
being
power.
here too, where you're with so many other young people who are working together for the future that you want, is motivating as well. I know for me, it's very motivating to hear what you all need so that I step out of the way and make it the place that you're sort of pushing into and you own the world going forward. Great.
Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you so much.
Let's give her a round of applause. Thank you so much.